Hello, my name is Marissa, and my video is on an activity for second grade science and Earth's systems. The phenomena I have chosen to identify is flowing water removes and transports soil particles, which is a key part of the erosion process. The slope of the land or the presence of vegetation can affect the rate of erosion. I will be demonstrating this phenomena through the water erosion model. The NGSS standard that closely matches this demonstration is 2-ESS2-1. Compare multiple solutions designed to slow or prevent wind or water from changing the state of the land. This model focuses on the second grade disciplinary core idea that wind and water can change the shape of the land, and that Earth's events can also occur quickly or slowly. After doing this experiment, students will be able to define erosion as the movement of land or sediment by water and wind. They will learn how the slope of the land can affect the rate at which water erodes the soil. Students will also be able to compare and contrast the effects of water on a sloped surface. Lastly, students will be able to construct an explanation of how water can change the shape of land over time, both quickly and slowly. To conduct this experiment, the materials you will need are a stack of books, a cup of water, 2 cake pans, 2 larger bread pans, bag of soil, and some forks. The first step of the experiment is to fill our bread pans equally with soil and gently pat down, which I have done to both of them. And then the second step is going to be to create the slope. So we're going to elevate one end of each bread pan by placing it on a stack of books or a larger, taller object. And then the other end should rest into the larger pan to collect the eroded soil and water. All right, so I just finished step 2. And the next step is in the bread pan, we are going to insert forks into the soil to mimic the roots of plants, which helps hold the soil in place and reduce the erosion. All right, then we're going to introduce some water. Slowly and evenly, we're going to pour water over onto the soil in each bread pan using a watering can. In this case, I just have a cup with me. All right. And then in this case, the students would be observing the erosion and watching how the water flows down the slope and into the cake pans. And then they will notice the amount of soil that is eroded in each pan. So we just did it for the one with the roots of the plants in the way. So now we are going to do it without the roots of the plants. All right, so again, I'm going to introduce water slowly into the cake pan. And I can instantly tell that since there's nothing in the way, such as the roots of the plants, there is much more soil erosion than there was in the one prior. So after the students conduct this experiment with both of the cake pans and showing that of erosion, they're going to be asked to analyze and test So they'll compare the amount of eroded soil in the pan with vegetation, aka forks, to the one without. You can then experiment by changing factors such as the steepness of the slope, which you would then add more books or more objects, or the amount of water poured to observe their effects of erosion. Students will be able to recognize the role of vegetation in slowing down water erosion by comparing models with and without vegetation, and explain how the plants did help hold soil in place. During this experiment, there are 3 engagement or UDL techniques that can be used. For multiple means of representation, the water erosion model itself provides a concrete hands-on experience of the erosion process, which appeals to visual and kinesthetic learners. This activity allows students to visually observe the movement of soil and changes in the landform as water flows. For multiple means of action and expression, students will be encouraged to record their own observations by using drawings or simple sentences about the experiment in their science journals. Using TPT number 1, students will pair up and share their observations in a think, pair, share. To engage the students through real-world connections, I can connect the erosion model to real-world examples and problems. Throughout the class time, students will be encouraged to discuss the places where they might have seen erosion, such as their neighborhoods. The higher order thinking questions I would ask to conclude the lesson are: why did the forks, representing plants and vegetation, help slow down the erosion in the model? How might real plants help prevent erosion in nature? And lastly, within this activity, I can assess student learning by actively listening to student discussions and explanations of what they observe happening in the model, paying attention to their use of terms such as using the vocabulary word erosion, carrying, or moving. I will also review their student drawings or diagrams of the model before and after the water is applied, checking if they accurately represent the changes in the land's shape. I can also assess their ability to compare and contrast the effects of erosion on different parts of the model, such as the bare soil and soil with the vegetation. Thank you.